Crackerjack says I should spend time with Kat. And what exactly should we do with no internet? Right? We can't watch anything. The only thing we can do is watch stuff on our phones. I'll talk about this in a second because I want to tell the story. And then I'm sure we're going to get into interaction and talking about it. All right? I want to tell the story of what's going on so you guys understand what's going on. And go from there. But like with no internet, there's like, we can't watch anything that we want to watch. All we can do is watch it on our phones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't listen to music unless you listen to it on your phone. Right?
This holiday season, every time you purchase a 12-ounce SnortBucks coffee, a portion of the proceeds will be given to the PNE Foundation, the world's premier charity dedicated to helping down on their luck content creators pay their daily bills.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I need my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill.
So stop by your local SnortBucks today and help send some PNE their way.
So much to talk about in so little time, and I wasn't expecting to do this like now, but big ups to Proper for like putting this down and whatnot and allowing me to pick it up, you know what I'm saying? and then one of my peoples was like, yo, you need to do this before you leave the house and whatnot, and we can get it up for today, which is why you guys will be watching it. And I had already recorded like a long segment for you guys already, so hopefully that one comes out over the weekend or at least early next week. We'll see. Either way, enough of my bitching. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Let's go. Okay, so first off, big ups to Proper. Big ups to James the Lesser. Big ups to everybody, essentially. And speaking of which, to James the Lesser, if you wouldn't mind, check your messages on Discord and see if you've like received any of my messages. If not, then I need to figure out what's going on with my account and whatever the case may be. So, you know, just let me know on that. You know what I'm saying? If you've received any of my correspondence or whatnot. Anyway, big ups to everybody. We got a lot of nonsense to talk about. So we're going over, essentially, a combination between the traditional black shirt begging video and comboed, if you will, with the white shirt begging videos, or my business is in trouble videos, or I really need your help videos, or your emergency videos, or whatever you want to call it. We have a combo of the two. This shit's going to be nutty. This shit's going to be nonsense. And I have questions, but I also have some answers too. So with that being said, welcome to my TED Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, this week in particular, I'm recording this on October 26th of 2023, our year of failure in Gout. This week has been a rough week. This year, truth be told, for Phil has been a rough year, but this week has been pretty rough. He's been big upping and overhyping, really, what he considered the big four as it pertains to games, that came out in succession: the new Sonic game, the new Mario game, the new Spider-Man game, and Alan Wake, which isn't out yet. Well, at the time you see this, it should be out. And he's been overhyping these video games pretty much since they were announced and pretty much since we were getting closer to the time to play them. And so far, 3 of the 4 have been duds. Sonic didn't pan out for him because he said it was too short, the music wasn't good, i.e., or piggy translation, the game wasn't familiar enough for him. He had some other complaints too, but let's keep this short. So Sonic didn't pan out. Mario's great. Not for him, for everybody else, but Mario's great. I don't know what his problem is with Mario. I'm starting to think, well, my initial thought was he was sandbagging the gameplay so he could stretch it out to make up for Sonic. But now I'm thinking he's just an out-and-out fucking idiot, and he's lost, like, all hand-eye coordination, and he can't figure out, like, basic shit. And his timing is off. Like, his timing is horrible. Like, I don't... It's usually amusing, but his timing is just off when it comes to, like, basic shit and trying to avoid stuff and trying to, like timing his jumps and everything. It's all off. It's really, really off. I can't wait to go over some of that footage. I can show you what I'm talking about. So Mario's just a mess for him. Mario's just terrible, and that shit isn't hitting from a contribution standpoint, which is one of the reasons why we're in the situation we're in with WWE Champions. We'll come back around to that. And then essentially what's on most people's Game of the Year list, or at least one of the nominations, Spider-Man 2 is definitely not clapping for him at all. At all. I don't understand. I honestly don't understand why why Spider-Man isn't working out for him, but it's just not working out. So 3 of the 4 are dud. He's getting desperate. He was very pissed off on Tuesday night because I think he played Mario that night. No, he played Mario during that day shift, I think. Day shift. He was playing Mario during the day stream, didn't pull any contributions. Then he said he was going to switch up the lineup and he was going to have Spider-Man come back onto the day stream and have Mario go to the night stream. Well, that Spider-Man stream on Wednesday, that just didn't hit either. And you could tell that he was panicked. You could tell he was pissed off. On top of that, Mario was supposed to be for the night stream, and he already had a problem with that the day before. And then, you can go ahead and verify with, like, TJ Gamebox. That's really one of the guys you should go to about it, if not the main guy. But go to your favorite detractor's favorite detractor who talks to TJ, and you can work that out, or you can jump into a Discord. You can go to Kiwi Farms. Speaking of which, KiwiFarms.net is back on the clear net, so you can get back to it. Just go to somebody that you trust, and they can give you the information on what TJ Gamebox has been keeping track of. But to make a long story short, DSP is spending more money week to week than what he's actually bringing in. Now, this really isn't anything new, but because these new releases aren't hitting the way that he thought they'd hit, the viewership's low, contributions are low. He needs some type of coping. He needs some type of comfort. And so he's spending all this money on WWE Champions, hoping that he'll be able to get residuals later on from these streams or from, the YouTube content or whatever. And then with losing all of those memberships, I mean, shit, he was down 200 from like the month before, and it looks like he's on pace for another 100, give or take. It don't look good. It don't look good. What you're seeing is the early signs, or not even the early signs, mid signs of a functioning addict, if I could even call him functioning, who's being boxed in. Who's being boxed in and really has no fucking clue and doesn't have a lifeline, because most of the people in his chat, or most of his fans, I should say, they're not going to see any of their disability checks till the end of the month or the beginning of the next. So he can't depend on that. And then I would assume whatever credit cards he's using to spend on whatever bullshit is about to be tapped out. Then on last night's, he says it's 2.5 hours. He uploaded 2.5 hours, but it's really 3. His 3-hour do-it-yourself stream, essentially he was talking about, he might have to buy another laptop, but he doesn't have the money for it, and he doesn't understand what's going on because the laptop is only 2 years old. Him bringing up buying a new laptop shouldn't have even been an option. So I don't even know why he did that, but however, or whatever means that he's using to purchase all this stuff is going to end up crashing and burning on him later. Darkside Phil is right where he needs to be. He's right where he should be. He played the game, and he failed at it, And now he's slowly but surely getting to the position where he's going to reap what he sows. And then, if it should have been the early clip before the broadcast actually started, when put into a position to be like, hey, okay, if you can't stream tonight, just why don't you go and hang out with Kat? Why don't you go and hang out with your family? Because you're always saying you never have enough time to. What are we going to do together if we don't have the internet? Roommate status confirmed, as if we didn't already need that confirmation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the last 2 days have made him, not even made him, he always was, but has made him completely and utterly look inept. He has been fortunate enough to get into whatever position he was in. And then, by doing the bare minimum, because that's really what it comes down to, right? Even less than the bare minimum, he's been able to make it as far as he has. I want you to think about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a fucking idiot who has made millions of dollars off the internet and doesn't understand a goddamn thing about the internet. Doesn't understand a goddamn thing about technology. This idiot can barely function with a console. We saw that earlier this year with Street Fighter 6 when he was trying to block people and trying to make sure messages didn't come in, and he couldn't figure it out. Couldn't even figure it out. Something that takes us 30 seconds. If you're actually playing games, if you're actually interacting with people, you can figure that out easy. It took him a couple minutes to get that done. And even then, he couldn't do it by himself. He's inept. He's completely and utter inept. And so when people, yet again, keep making this argument about, oh, people are jealous of him, who? Who is jealous of this? Who would want to be Darkside Phil for a day? Well, maybe just out of the curiosity of it, because like just to see what his life is really like. But I believe in myself enough to, I think I have a pretty good grasp of what his life is like. But like outside of scientific purposes for a day, who would really want to be Darkside Phil for a week or a month or whatever? The guy is useless. I literally saw at least clips of it. I saw this dude humiliate himself last night in the hopes it would bring in pity bucks. And with that being said, and then we'll get on to the actual broadcast itself. That's why you guys are here. That shit was a work. I agree 100% with Agent Proper and David Davison and whatnot. That shit was a work. That whole situation. I'm not saying that he didn't have an internet outage. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he must have had some type of partial outage. But this whole situation, this whole circumstance started because he couldn't see contributions and he couldn't interact with the chat, which is his only real sources of power. If you think about it, he can still stream. He was streaming. He could still play video games. He was playing video games, but he didn't have the comfort of the contributions, and he didn't have the authority. He didn't have the power that he perceives comes with being able to control a chat and viewing the chat. That's what all this is about. This is legitimately all what this was about. He literally could have just opened up his stream on his phone and he could have worked it out that way, but he didn't because he doesn't like the convenience, or it doesn't have the same convenience of what his normal setup is. That's what all this is about, and nothing more, and nothing more, and no one's going to be able to tell me different. And so he ain't wasted an hour of these people's time during the day stream on Wednesday, and then he spent 3 hours. He wasted 3 hours of their time Wednesday night, literally just to get back at people. He literally this was his way of trying to wrestle control of the situation. Oh, you guys are making fun of me. Oh, you guys aren't helping me. This, that, and the third. Well, fuck you. You don't get gameplay. I'm gonna waste your guys' time going back and forth, shooting down just about every suggestion that you have for like the 5th or 6th time, until like an hour or two goes by, and then I'll start to be willing. Then I might be willing to listen to one of your suggestions. I might walk my little ass downstairs and shit and whatnot. My hooves hurt. Walk my little ass downstairs and shit, complaining about some bullshit to Cat, and then come back upstairs and act like I'm doing something. He literally did that on purpose to waste people's time. Honestly. He could have cut the stream off that night. He could have played a game and not have to, and just not interacted with the chat or whatever. He could have kept talking. But see, he don't talk though when he's playing games, is he? Unless he's trying to insult the game, unless he's trying to overhype himself, or he's reacting to someone in the chat. Other than that, he doesn't have shit to say. Nothing. He is useless. And you literally see that with that Bottom Bitch podcast. Because when he doesn't have any quote unquote news segments for the gaming part, or if his Phil's day off is shit, he's got literally nothing to say. All they are just empty complaints. Literally empty snorts. And then he's moving on and reacting to what other people have to say to him. Or whatever his opinions are. And the money's coming in slow. And these new releases aren't hitting. Wow. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and watch this 17-minute fucking dumb shit where it's where he complains about what the circumstances are and what the update is, and is tomorrow, which is Friday. Is that which is today, actually, the day you're watching it. Is that shit going to be in jeopardy, or whatever the case may be? And I'll give you my opinions as we go on. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I don't smell no goddamn bacon cooking, and let's go ahead and get to this situation. God dog. I'll see you guys in just a second.
What's up? Phil here with an update, an unexpected update. As you can see, I'm about to head out the door and have a day out here on my day off from streaming and content. But I felt that it was appropriate for me to film a special video to keep you all in the know about what's going on with my current internet issues and how this is going to affect my content moving forward. I have many updates, none of which are great.
I didn't actually mean to get that there, but I'll take it. Drunk side Phil. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Big ups to Agent Proper, and big ups to the homie Diggs, who's on vacation and yet still felt the need to be like, hey, this is up. You might want to go ahead and get on that. So thanks. This right here is from Darkside Karen. Important internet issues update. This is from, October 27th of 2023, which that doesn't make any sense because I'm recording this on the 26th. So, whatever. Whatever. I guess people were supposed to watch it tomorrow. I don't know. Whatever. Which is today for you guys who are watching. Anyway, sticking with the narrative around here. I'll make sure that the link is down in the description, or whoever it is that edits this will make sure it's down in the description. So, yet again, this is really just a combination between a black shirt begging video and a white shirt, the business needs help, please support, please contribute, please step up, whatever you want to call it. You guys already know what the fucking slogan is, so let's just go ahead and get onto it. Let's just go ahead and get to it. Oh boy. It's been a while since we've had these, though. I'm glad Phil is remembering his roots. I'm glad he's we're sticking to tradition around here with this shit. All right, here we go.
Hey everyone, what's up? Phil here with an update, an unexpected update. As you can see, I'm about to head out the door and have a day out here on my day off from streaming and content. But I felt that it was appropriate for me to film a special video to keep you all in the know about what's going on with my current internet issues and how this is going to affect my content moving forward. I have many updates, none of which are great, but at least I have updates to keep you guys in the know. I would ask if you're a fan or a hater and you just want to know what the hell's going on, spread the word about this video so people know what's happening. So in a nutshell,
wait a second, is this a call to your detractors, trolls, haters, and critics? On top of that, this is an okay shirt. I gotta admit, I'm not feeling the color per se. I might want something a little darker, maybe, but it's still a nice shirt, to say the least. And the fact that you can still see the outlines of his piggy titties in this shit, chef kiss. Well done, Phil. That goes along with your wife's supermodel figure. It's all panning out in the Brunel household. You know, Darkside Phil's the peak. Phil is the peak of physical fitness. His wife is a supermodel, and Jasper is just a happy kitty. Who could ask for anything more, right? Right.
During my live stream, both modems in my home, because I own 2 internet lines, disconnected from the internet, or at least lost internet connectivity for about a minute. When they came back, I've had nothing but problems. Now, the weirdest part about it is that my desktop computer remains connected to the internet. and still is able to stream and upload. However, there's been some updates with that, and I'll tell you about those in a second. But it still seems like that desktop computer remains online and is able to do functionality stuff for my work. Everything else in my house isn't working. This laptop cannot connect either to that modem or the one downstairs. All my game consoles are not able to connect to either modem. My phone, which I don't even have, I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. Also won't connect. It basically what happens is all my devices connect to these modems, and then it should go on the internet, and it says internet not available. If you look in a browser window, it'll say something like connection denied, or you know, cannot connect to server, contact your ISP. So after this, you know, ruined my stream yesterday. You know, I was doing a Spider-Man stream. We couldn't finish it. Last night, we did a 2.5-hour troubleshooting stream.
Now remember, we couldn't finish the Spider-Man stream on the day stream because he couldn't see contributions and he couldn't interact with the chat. Remember that, because that's important. Let's not act like this wasn't something that could have been sidestepped. He chose to do it this way.
Thankfully, you know, my viewers and fans tried to help me, and I really appreciate that you guys came out and hung out with me for 2.5 hours, and we tried to figure this out. Basically what we've discovered is it's got to be something on the server side from my ISP. My ISP is Comcast, because here's why. If I change my DNS server from the Comcast default auto-detected server to, say, Google server, which I believe is like 8.8.8.8 or something like that, I can get online. But it's incredibly slow. It doesn't really fully load anything. Like, I can get to Google search. I can half load a YouTube page, but it won't load fully. It's a mess. But I can still...
Now, keep in mind, great screenshot, Phantom Hooves. People had said this in his chat. People said this in his chat yesterday, that there's more than likely an internet outage around him and whatnot. And with internet outages, they're kind of hit or miss. So, you know, he has 2 separate lines. One may have gotten knocked out. The other one didn't. Clearly, that's what happened. Why isn't he using the Wi-Fi from the business class internet upstairs to run his laptop off of? I don't know. And keep in mind, it was only after, I think, the technician came out the last time around is when he realized, oh, well, I could just patch in I could go ahead and get an internet cable and patch into my laptop that way, and things work a lot better. So he used to be on Wi-Fi, if I remember the story correctly, and then he decided to change up. So there's all kinds of nonsense that really goes on in this. On top of that, speaking of that technician coming out, didn't they give him like a 5G backup that he could go back to, or that he could jump on at any given time if he needed it? And what did he tell us, by the way? He said, oh, well, what the fuck am I going to use this for, man? What am I going to need this for, dude? This is a waste of time, and just chucked it in a corner or some shit. Or certainly left it on the floor. Maybe Jasper's been laying on it. I don't know. But he had that option. He had a bunch of options. You know what I mean? Or he had a few options, I should say. I won't say a bunch, but he had a few options. But this idiot's so inept, and he's so used to having everything in a particular way that he has no versatility to him. He can't adapt. Everything has to be the same autistic way it is every single day. This minute, mundane way of doing everything. And anytime the smallest thing comes up, it turns into a fucking a code red type situation. I was going to go with the meme that they use over there on Pop Stream, but I can't think of it at the moment. But or DEFCON 5 or whatever, or DEFCON 1, whatever. It ends up turning into one of those fucking situations. And he just told us, just recently, that, oh, old Phil used to make a big deal out of everything and act like the sky is falling and, oh, everything was in major distress over the smallest things. I'm mature now. I've grown up. I don't do that anymore. I don't exaggerate my situations anymore. Wow. Wow.
Which means, obviously, this has something to do with their servers, and something happened whenever these modems went, lost internet for a minute or whatever yesterday and came back, something changed in them to screw all this up. I don't know what, okay? So we tried for 2.5 hours last night. We couldn't figure out what to do. So we left it at, number one, today, Thursday, the 26th of October, I have to call Comcast and work with them to figure out what's going on. And I got to figure out a way to get all my stuff ready for Friday. Because if you don't know, on Friday it's a big day.
Oh, that was another thing too. Hell of a coincidence that this whole situation fucks up on early Wednesday, or the situation happens early Wednesday with the laptop. He somehow stretches it or drags out or provides all of this bloat Wednesday night, and then we're off on Thursday. That's really fucking convenient how all that happened. Really convenient. Like, the situation isn't as dire as he's making it. He knows that the new releases are failing and he didn't want to play those games. He'd rather have just sat around and talked. But see, if he does that, then you're going to have assholes like me that are going to mock him and be like, well, wait, dude, you had hyped up the big releases. This is the big 4. This is the hardcore gaming season, dude. What the fuck do you want to sit around and talk for? Play a goddamn game. Play a game and talk, if you can. If that's something in your repertoire. But see, he don't want to do that. Because he knows that everything's failing around him. And if he has a pity party type Q&A type situation, or just a chill, come out and let's talk type situation, it's going to turn into a begging segment fast. As if we haven't seen enough of that already. And that's why all this happened.
Playing Alan Wake 2, the hot new release. 13 years we've been waiting for this game. How am I going to play it if I have no internet? Right? So, a few things have happened. First of all, last night, something clicked in my head, and I remembered something. I was like, you know, I upgraded my internet package earlier this year, and when I did that, they gave me a device that I never thought I would have any use for. All right? They actually gave me a backup cellular mobile data internet device for a business. Because, you know, I'm on Comcast business account. They assume I'm running a store. They seriously assume that I'm running like a retail store with point of sale stuff.
I mean,
and so my
you do say you run a business, and more importantly, if you guys do have a backup 5G for cellular, why aren't you and Catherine using that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I like how he's waving his hooves around too. Like, I'm loving these things. It's almost like the Hitler pose. We'll call it. We'll call it Philip Pigler, and I think that's the meme anyway. So these Pigler type fucking freeze frames are actually pretty good. It looks like some of those dramatic poses that Hitler has, or he's known for doing. Anyway, why weren't you guys using that instead of using any of your Wi-Fi or anything else? You might as well, given that you're already paying for the damn thing, because he let the technician finesse his ass into that shit. Or the technician told him it was part of the package. He could have just asked he could have had the customer service just removed it. Probably would have only saved him like $10, but it's better than the damn near $300, $400 bill he's already paying now. And for what? He could achieve the exact same thing with just 2 regular home lines. It's not like, let me give you an example. It's not like the situation with Maximilian. He talked about this recently. Or Chris Move. I'll use both of them as an example. Chris Move, a number of years ago, it must have been like 2016, maybe 2017, wherever he was living at that time, had fiber optics laid down so he could have it, so, you know, he had better internet going to his home and whatever the case may be. And it was a whole thing, and they had to come out there and, you know, pull the ground up and lay the lines or whatever. But it was worth the money later on down the line. Maximilian spoke about that recently too. I think he spoke about it on part 1 of his Spider-Man stream, or the first part of a Spider-Man playthrough, I think, where he talked about he wanted fiber optics to be laid down to his new home. He called his internet service provider. They said they would. They locked him into a 3-year deal, and it was quite a bit of money because they had to go out there and lay down lines and everything for him too. But they did, and that fiber optic line only goes to his gaming setup, or mainly streaming setup, honestly, and that's it. It's not used for anything else around the house because he has another internet line for it. And he said he had to get locked into a 3-year deal. It was quite a bit of money, but after his 3 years was up, which was just recent, he called to see if he could negotiate the price, negotiate that price down. And they were like, yeah, you damn near paid for it, so so sure. And now he's paying half the price that he was paying, or less than half. You know what I'm saying? And Max didn't say shit about that being a business line. Neither did Chris Move say that back in the day. Neither do most content creators who do stuff like that. So what point was this asshole trying to prove? No one gives a shit. He's wasting money because he thinks, oh, it's a business that gives him legitimacy, despite the fact that he's not a business. There's nothing out there that says DSPGaming is a business and anything. Semantics. And he thinks if you throw the largest amount of money at something, you'll get the best out of it, which is also not true. There are people who stream on Wi-Fi who have a better connection than DSP does, and a faster one. But yet again, semantics.
Were to go down, this is a device that's a redundant backup, so you at least have basic internet in the case that your whole, cable modem internet lines go down. So this device is like a 4G wireless device, and it is insanely slow. It is slower than my cell phones. It's slower than anything I've used in the last decade. It's that slow, but it works. It connects to the internet. So last night I just hooked this thing up on a whim. I'm like, I wonder, could I get this thing working with my Xbox and buy and download Alan Wake 2? Yes, I can. And I did. I have Alan Wake 2 on my Xbox Series X right now, ready to go. But it took over 12 hours to download it. It was like a snail's pace, and this internet connection is wild. It'll be like 20 megabytes per second, less than a megabyte per second. 30 megabytes per second, disconnected, reconnected. It's a nightmare. You could never use this for anything consistent. You would never be able to stream on this thing. It's wild, okay? So it's essentially just a backup for very basic use. I left this on overnight, and overnight, I'm not even kidding you, it just finished downloading about 30 minutes ago. And right now it's 11:54 a.m. for me. So it just finished.
Wait, I thought you said you get up early on your days off to go out and run errands. Why the fuck is it almost 12 o'clock and you haven't gone anywhere yet? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. He tells us this on the regular, that they get up early and then they go out and run all their errands. They go out and get breakfast. They come back, they drop stuff off, they go over to other places and pick up other stuff or whatever. Then they might grab a quick lunch, then come home, and then they relax and let their food digest and all this other bullshit, and then they order DoorDash again later for dinner. Why is it almost 12 o'clock and this ass clown hasn't left the house yet? And if that's the case, why don't you have Comcast come out this morning? By his own admission, he could have literally had called Comcast last night after he got off stream and said, hey, can you get a technician out here this morning? Or Thursday morning, essentially. Why didn't he do that? He's already lingering around the goddamn house till noon anyway. Someone make that make sense.
Over 12 hours to download the game. So that's good to go. I have Alan Wake 2 for tomorrow. All right. Now, this morning, I got up and I called Comcast. Here's the results of this conversation. Okay. Test everything. Nothing works. No kidding. Knew that was going to happen. I tried explaining to the person on the line the technical aspects of what was going on. You can tell when someone has absolutely no recognition of what you're saying. This person is not a technical person. They're just
you mean like your dumbass last night? And yet again, why the fuck did you wait till this morning to go through this whole spiel when, truth be told, you should have just called last night after your 3-hour bitch fest and been like, hey, can you get a technician out here tomorrow morning, being Thursday? Instead, he waits until Thursday morning to try to get someone to figure out shit with him over the phone. This is supposed to be his business, right? This is the thing that he needs to protect, right? Isn't this didn't this bitch last night say, oh, if I can't get things to work, I'm going to be fucked up. This is the internet, man. This is the only way that I make my money. So why does he keep putting shit off?
Customer service support, why they have no technical knowledge on people doing line-level customer service support for a business, I have no idea, but that's what Comcast chooses to do. So after over about half an hour on the phone of wasted time, essentially, the person said they're going to have a tech come out tomorrow. At first, they said they wanted a tech come out today. I said, I can't. Today's my day off. I'm literally within 20 minutes of me making this video. I'm out. I'm out the door.
That's not an excuse.
I have appointments.
That's not an excuse. That is legit. That's legitimately not an excuse. If you called them early and say, hey, we can send someone out there today. Oh, no, I can't, man. I gotta leave the house. Catherine don't need to leave the house with you, dude. Let her stay home and let her basically explain what the situation is, and you go out and run errands. Why am I saying that, ladies and gentlemen? Because he's done that before. There's plenty of times that he's left the house to run errands, and Catherine stayed home and played video games, hung out with Jasper, watched TV, whatever the case may be. So you're telling me that your wife is not smart enough to sit there and open the door for the technician and explain to what the situation is and just point and shoot where everything's at? I mean, yeah, that dude could be another Tyrone or whatever the case may be, and she might get clapped up and whatnot, but I'm sure she's going to enjoy it. But at least the work gets done. Why are we making excuses? This is not how grown people or grown-ups act. And this is not how business owners act. When they have a problem, they want a solution quickly. And waking up for him early, he's saying it's almost 12 o'clock. So waking up early for him is really like 10:15. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, he deserves every bit of failure that he's had coming. Every bit of failure that he has coming, or that he's already received, he deserved every bit of it. Because he worked his ass off for it. Avoiding responsibility, bitching and complaining about dumb shit that could have been corrected if he stopped fucking around. Just saying.
All kinds of stuff already set up that I have to do. It's my 1 day off a week. I schedule everything for my 1 day off. So I literally can't be here today. Even if I want to, I can't. I have to go. So,
and you see how autistic that sounds? That sounds stupid as shit. You're saying that this is your business. This is the only way you can make money, and yet you're putting off your responsibilities for your business. Jesus Christ, I wish they slapped his ass with that bankruptcy. Or they didn't. I wish they were like, nah, you're going to have to eat that. And you're going to have to eat all of those fucking credit cards and just deal with it. I really wish they had. Holy shit.
Tomorrow, supposedly tomorrow afternoon, all right? So here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen, all right? Tomorrow, I'm going to turn on my stream at the normal time to do the podcast. We're going to chat. We're going to talk. I'm sure there'll be game news and things to talk about and hang out. There's literally no reason for me to start the game because we're going to be interrupted at some point by a tech showing up to try to figure out what's going on with this internet, okay? If I start the game, what's the point? You're going to get blue balls. I just start and then I'll have to turn it off again, right?
Are you fucking retarded? The same thing could happen when you start the stream for the fucking Bottom Bitch podcast. So you're literally wasting time. So no, don't do a morning stream at all, right? Don't do your fucking shitty little podcast. Don't do any of that. Let the technician show up, let them work their magic, and then you just have an extended stream in the evening. Just do that. He's literally wasting people's time. I don't give a fuck about his time now, because he don't give a fuck about it. But he's literally wasting people's time again. This is just like Wednesday night all over again. He's literally wasting people's time. To do what? To squeeze out $25? To squeeze $30 out of people? Is that what he thinks? This is gonna drum up some little pity segment where he's gonna make $150, $200 fucking dollars, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clock out, and then bam, I'll show back up later, and we can play Alan Wake, and I'm gonna get another $200. Is that what that is? Because if you think about it, and this is me just probably being an asshole and I'm reaching, but the fact that he was like, yeah, I want people to spread the word about this, I want my haters to go ahead and spread the word, or whatever the case may be, that's kind of what he wants. He's basically saying, yeah, go ahead and put out the drama so people can show up and actually support me. That's essentially what he's asking for. And I think that's honestly what he thinks is going to happen. But if you're really paying attention to what he's saying, without all my bullshit, he's done everything in his power to hinder himself and the quote-unquote business. Let's continue.
It's going to be start up, talk, hang out, podcast, have a good time, and then whenever the tech shows up, go offline, see if the tech who's here can figure out what the heck is going on. I'm sure we're going to be doing crazy amounts of troubleshooting and everything on both modems to figure this out and go from there. Then, hopefully, the tech will resolve it and we'll be back to normal, all right? Now, I'm going to see if I plug this laptop into that 4G backup wireless device if I can get basic internet on it. And if I can, that means I should be able to stream the game and have the laptop with the chat and all your contributions working. It should be a normal stream. All right? It's bootleg as heck. But it should be a
wait. He just, now I've already said that he's already streaming and he can already play whatever games he wants to play. This whole bullshit is over the fact that he can't exert his power or have any of his comfort from the stream chat or from being able to see contributions. Now he's sitting here saying, oh, I'll go ahead and use that 5G hotspot. I'll plug my laptop into that, and then boom, we should be able to play games and we should be able to be in business. If that's the case, why didn't you do that yesterday? And someone called him out on that yesterday too, or Wednesday night, sorry. And, well, for me it was yesterday, but Wednesday night, you know what I mean? And he said he didn't know what they were talking about. But now he's willing to do it? And why would you need to do it then if the technician comes out and actually resolves it? Think about what he's doing. He's trying to act like he's giving you solutions when by then the problem should already be resolved. And if so, that goes back to what I said earlier, that he purposely wasted those people's time last night. Or back to, as I said, David Davison and Agent Proper said, this shit's a fucking work. It's a shoddy work, but it's a work. Matter of fact, this is shit starting to turn into a work. It's a work that he's trying to make it out to be a shoot. And it's not happening. This is lame. This is lame as fuck. Just because he's not man enough to accept, I use the term man loosely, he's not man enough to admit that, hey, these new games aren't going to help you, B. The holiday season ain't shit going to help you there either, B. I'm not necessarily saying it's done as long as you want to keep fucking running your head into that brick wall, concrete really. That concrete wall, I'll let you do it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean shit to me. But he doesn't want to face the fact that he's lost. Ever since Street Fighter 6, everything has been a goddamn flop. He has nothing left. I don't think any of us have really, I'll include myself in there, but I'm pretty confident in what I felt. I think a lot of us didn't give enough credence to what he had riding on these new releases and what he's hoping to come out of the holiday season. This isn't 2017 anymore. This isn't 2018. This isn't 2019, where all that big money flushes in from September till January. Those days have been gone for a long time, at least since the pandemic. So at least since 2020. Especially after the vest streak ended. All right, let's see.
Now, this doesn't solve the problems. You might say, oh, if that works, then just leave it like that. What are you, crazy? I have a whole internet modem downstairs, basic internet on it. And if I can, that means we'll be back to normal. All right? Now, I'm going to see if I plug this laptop into that 4G backup wireless device if I can get basic internet on it. And if I can, that means I should be able to stream the game and have the laptop with the chat and all your contributions working. It should be a normal stream. All right? It's bootleg as heck, but it should be a normal stream. Now, this doesn't solve the problems. You might say, oh, if that works, then just leave it like that. What are you, crazy? I have a whole internet modem downstairs that doesn't work. I have no internet on my phone. I'm using the cellular data on my phone to get it to work. You know, I'm paying for internet that's not working right now, so I have to have the person come and fix this. Plus, sadly, here is a negative update, okay? As I told you, my desktop computer is still working on this, but not the laptop, not the phones, not the consoles. Just the desktop is working, but not fully. This is so weird. Listen to this. Anything I do in
this idiot right here, basically, they're going to have to, first off, they're going to have to reset both lines anyway. And I already know that he's going to bitch and complain about that because he's like, well, if you reset both lines, my business line, if that doesn't come back on, I can't stream. It doesn't matter. You're not doing shit now anyway. You're not doing shit now anyway. Let them address the problem. That was the whole reason. It's this type of behavior, I should say, is what prompted him to have the technician come out earlier in the year. Because he sat there and kept putting shit off. He was having bad internet. There was plenty of people who were playing against him, like the Mario Golf situation. Golf. where one guy that he was going up against or was on his team was like, nah, there is no lag on anybody else's part, it's on his part, and he had the video footage to prove that. He's been having internet issues for a minute, and he let it go because he didn't give a shit enough about it. As long as his business internet, quote unquote, was working the way he needed it to work, he didn't care. Until shit started to become a problem. Yet again, he's doing the same shit here. You don't put shit off and let things get worse. Because, as he said, I'm paying for internet and I'm not getting, and the internet don't work. Well, idiot, you've been doing that for years. For years you've been paying Comcast for half-ass internet, not because they fucked you over per se, because you wouldn't get off your ass and make a day for those people to come out and get shit done so you could handle your business. All of this bitching and complaining is about the home internet. That's what he's complaining about. So someone explain to me why Catherine can't stay home tomorrow, which she's probably going to be okay with anyway, and let the technician in and let them do their goddamn job that he pays them for. Instead, he keeps putting the shit off. And Comcast don't give a fuck because they're going to charge him the same amount no matter what. He's only hurting himself. And he's only losing more and more interest, not only from his audience, but shit, from anybody else. He's doing this all on his own. As far as I'm concerned, Friday's stream, Friday's whole day is dead in the water as far as I'm concerned. Because he didn't want to do what he needed to do. He didn't live up to his responsibilities. And he's sitting here trying to spin this story like it's such a large hassle and, he's boxed in and he didn't have any other options, so he has to do things the way he's doing it. Great screenshot, by the way. But truth be told, he did it to himself. He legitimately did it to himself. Anyway. Actually, let me remove that just in case anybody wants a screenshot. This right here is befuddled, inept, and fucking just stupidity Phil. Pure and simple. It doesn't get no better than this. Or, for anybody who actually sees the video itself, this is at 8 minutes and 8 seconds in DSP's original video. If you want to grab a screenshot from there. It's probably better quality, honestly. Oh my god. Alright, here we go.
Chrome browser works, including loading my YouTube pages and all of that. It works. Okay? Anywhere else I go to, X, CNN.com, any random website, all works through the Chrome browser. Alright? I also have Firefox. Firefox partially works. And what I mean by that is, it'll load certain sites, but not others. I can't actually get I can't actually get Firefox to load YouTube right. I don't know why. Because usually what I have is I have two browsers, and one I'll have open DSPGaming, and the other one I'll have open logged into my other channel, DSP Reacts. I cannot get the DSP Reacts thing to load. No matter what I try, it won't load it. It says no internet connection. How is that possible that I'm on the same browser, right? I can go to one site, but then when I try to go to YouTube, it says no internet connection. That makes no sense whatsoever, does it? It seems like there's a really messed up thing going on. I feel like
unless you just don't have enough data, which kind of would make more sense there. So, I mean, yet again, how have you been on the internet this long and not understand how that shit works? It's it's fantastic. It really is. It's fantastic to see this shit. And this is the same guy who says people at Google, people at YouTube, they're bookmarked, but they're not street smart, but these guys did something, and they're fucking idiots, and it's fucking up the business for everybody because they don't know what the fuck they're doing, yada, yada, yada. Oh, these people at these game companies don't know what the fuck they're doing. Everybody's dumb. Everybody's ignorant. Yada, yada, yada. This is what this motherfucker says. This motherfucker has the nerve to sit here and literally spew racism against people from overseas who work customer service, being like, oh, well, if they could speak the language better, then, or if they understood the language better, maybe they'd be able to fucking help somebody, but they can't. He's willing to do all this dumb shit, but look at how inept he is. Look at how fucking useless Darkside Phil is if there isn't someone holding his hooves and actually basically walking him step by step. And then he's purposely hindering himself. Purposely hindering himself from doing what he needs to do. That's just wild. But it's always going to be somebody else's fault. Fuck out of here.
Kind of an update to both modems yesterday For most people, it doesn't affect them, but for me, for my use, it does. And it's destroyed my business. Like, I don't even know what else to say. But it's not anything I changed. I've changed nothing. It's, you know, it's on their end. They screwed this up. And now me and a tech tomorrow are going to have to sit here and put our heads together trying to figure out what in the holy hell is going on.
You're absolutely fucking useless, though. What does the tech need you for? What does the tech need you for? You and your dents couldn't figure out basic shit. Well, I can't even say that, because I would say there were people in his audience that were giving him good suggestions, and he just came up with a bunch of excuses and reasons not to do it. And now you and the tech have to put your head together for what? You're literally a waste of time and space. Literally. There is nothing that you're bringing to the table. Just move the fuck out of the way and let that technician do their job. If nothing else, you and Catherine should be spending your day cleaning that house so it doesn't look like the pigsty that guy or that female or whoever walks into tomorrow. That's what you really should be doing. But instead, he's concerned with going out and spending money that he don't have and getting fucking meals already prepared for him because him and his wife, air quotes on that, are too lazy to do it themselves.
Who knows if we're going to figure it out? Isn't this great? You know, pay for 2 high-end business lines of internet. And this is... Whoa. I need to hear that one back. What the fuck do you mean 2 high-end business lines? Are you talking about that's a great screenshot. Are you talking about the 5G hotspot thing? Or the one downstairs was never business class internet? Now you have 2. Oh my god, I got so many questions now. This up. And now me and a tech tomorrow are going to have to sit here and put our heads together trying to figure out what in the holy hell is going on. And who knows if we're going to figure it out. Isn't this great? You know, pay for 2 high-end business lines of internet. And this just happens out of nowhere. And you might say, well, can't you get any more help? No, this is the help I'm getting from Comcast. Is all they can do is have a tech come out. That's it. They don't have anyone else who apparently, you know...
Since when do we have 2 high-end business internet lines? Is the other one in Panda's name? Does Catherine have a fucking business we don't know about? What the... Okay. Now... Okay, he's clearly lying. he has to be lying. Okay, it's always been a regular internet line and business class internet up there in his office. Now all of a sudden it's 2 high-end business line internets. Now, I don't know if he's talking about the 5G hotspot thing, because if that's the case, that's like a half-truth. But even still, like we're reaching with this. Oh, fucking damn near a full-time job just keeping up with the lies. Holy shit.
Can help with this kind of high-level stuff. They said the best thing to do is have a tech come out and hope for the best. So that's what I'm doing. And tomorrow, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to start up my stream normally and have a normal stream until the tech comes. Hopefully the tech and I can figure this out, solve the problem, and both modems will be working fine and we'll be back to normal after that. And of course, whenever it gets solved, I would love to get back up and running and play Alan Wake with you guys. But I don't see any point in starting the game when I know the tech is coming early afternoon. They're supposed to, at the earliest they said they'll show up is like noon, but I have never once seen the tech show up the earliest. You know what I mean? It's probably going to be like sometime in the later afternoon. I would almost guarantee it. So I guess we'll see what happens, right? That's all we can do is wait and see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully everything.
He must really think his audience are idiots. And because there's no way that he would, and I'm the last detractor to even be on this list, but any reasonable detractor is easily going to pick holes through this shit. They're going to poke holes all through this bitch. But there's no, he must think they're all fucking dense, which they are, most of his fucking audiences. But Jesus Christ. There are like 3 or 4 different instances in this shit, scenarios, if you will, where it's blatantly his fault. Like him being inept and lazy is come back to bite his ass. And yet he expects to really throw this at the fucking feet of Comcast and they're gonna eat it. When it's clearly not their fault. If they had an outage, they had an outage. That's just part of the thing. That's just part of the situation. Now, I'm wondering, when that technician came out earlier in the year, did he ask for some type of special encryption, or did he ask for some type of modification to his modem for whatever reason? And if that has if that has affected the home internet in some type of way, shape, or form. I'm curious. I'm not saying that has anything to do with, yet again, he's already lied and basically said there's nothing hindering him from actually streaming and or playing the game. He just has no access to the chat and to being able to see people's contributions. That's what all this is about. But outside, unless he has some type of special encryption or whatever, because he's scared of getting DDoSed or whatever the fucking case is, and Comcast has some type of workaround, I'm wondering what his dumbass may have done to that modem downstairs recently that may have caused the problem. Because, Phil always thinks he's the smartest pig in the room until he's not. So, I have questions. I have a lot of questions.
And I can at least get the basic stream going. I can start the podcast. We can hang out together for a while. Now, obviously, this is throwing my entire business into disarray.
And here comes the begging segment. If I had to guess, this is where the begging segment comes in. So after we sat there and had 10 plus minutes, obviously it's been longer on my end, 10 plus minutes of rambling on about what the problem is and how it's not his fault. He did nothing wrong. He did everything correct. Now we get into the begging segment.
Happens tomorrow. Hopefully everything keeps working on the desktop and I can at least get the basic stream going. I can start the podcast. We can hang out together for a while. Now, obviously this is throwing my entire business into disarray. I lost out on over an hour of Spider-Man gameplay. I didn't get to play Mario last night. I don't even know what's going to happen on Friday when I come back and I boot this thing up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it. I have no idea. All right? So, what can you do to help? Well, obviously there's a ton of content already you can watch, right? Like, watch the stuff I've already uploaded. That's number one. Number two, if you're
begging for views. Views. I don't want to be Mr. Views.
In some way, please, by all means, do. I would really hate for this to, in the midst of the busiest gaming time of the year, watch the stuff I've already uploaded. That's number one. Number two, if you would like to support in some way, please, by all means, do. I would really hate for this to, in the midst of the busiest gaming time of the year, to now massively negatively affect me, which is going to be like, let me put it this way, all right?
We even got the little, holy shit. Oh, see what I meant about this is the classic black shirt begging comboed with the whole white shirt help my business situation. My business is in trouble. Holy shit. Great screenshot.
The busiest gaming time of the year, to now massively negatively affect me, which is going to be like, let me put it this way, all right? I'm very happy that I'm not in a position anymore that I'm living day to day. Because I was, very much so, a few years ago. I was in positions where, like, every day I was like, man, I got to raise this much today, or I can't pay my bills, or I can't do this. Luckily, I'm not necessarily in that situation. It's not that bad. The problem is...
The fuck are you talking about? Two things. One, that's a backhanded smack at Wings, because Wings has been crying and complaining about how if he can't make his $130 per stream, he's going to be fucked financially. And secondly... Didn't this motherfucker bitch and complain about how he had 2 big bills, he had 4 big games coming up, plus the YouTube paycheck was going to be late by up to a week, which it wasn't. It was literally, he should have been paid on Saturday, and he got paid on Monday. If that doesn't sound like day to day, I don't know what is. He's the one he keeps crying, complaining to you about, we've lost all these memberships, can we please get the memberships up? Hey guys, I'd really like to hit the tier 1 tips goal, and I know we can do it. I'd really appreciate for you guys to contribute so we can make that happen. Does that shit not sound day to day to you? And then if you go back to TJ Gamebox and you watch and you look at his WWE spending tracker, if you will, you know what I'm saying? You could tell what he's blowing his money on. Could have bought those games multiple times over. could have taken care of those big bills if the special event going on or whatever the case may be wasn't those big bills in particular. He could have taken care of that multiple times over. And it's funny how that all those scenarios, the 2 big bills, the 4 games, and making sure that we hit the tier 1 goal plus the membership goal, you know, trying to get back to where they were. It's funny how all of that happened, and there was a large push for all of that, I should say, before the YouTube paycheck thing. So he was literally pig whistling leading up to the paycheck on the 21st. Keep that in mind. Holy shit. Holy shit.
I don't want to go back to where I was. Do you understand what I mean? I've been doing good. I've been trying to pull myself out of a kind of a situation where that's the case. And if now I'm going to have extended periods of time where I can't...
And how are you living day to day making $100,000 a year? On top of the fact that he got the bankruptcy. He got all that credit discharged. And yet he's literally up here telling you he's struggling. He's literally projecting, saying, hey, I'm not actually in this really bad spot, but I'm actually in this really bad spot. Oh my God. Oh, Phil. And you know, you have to know, if any of you who are baking connoisseurs or are Dark Side Phil connoisseurs, you know what I'm saying, or that of your lore, if you will. You guys are really big in the lore. You know things must be rough in the Burnell household if this right here happens. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I completely, I do agree, or I do believe that there is a problem with the internet. But then again, I've already acknowledged that. But it's a small problem. And there was plenty of workarounds he had the night before that he could have done, and he didn't want to do it. This is just an extremely poorly done work. And at the end of the day, it's not going to pay off, and it just makes him look weak and inept, which he's already both. This is not going to prove anything at all. It's not going to benefit anybody except for his detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. This is literally the black shirt begging / white shirt, help me with my business situation of 2023. Things must be bad if we're this early into the quote-unquote hardcore gaming season, and i.e. the hardcore begging season, and shit's already fucked up this bad. If you're a DSP supporter, tell your mans to go to therapy. Tell your mans to go to counseling, because that spending addiction, his drinking addiction, that shit's a problem. His gambling problem, all that shit needs to get worked the fuck out. Because 2024 and probably 2025 are going to be rough. They're going to be rough years. And he's clearly not prepared. And he's sitting here spending all this money thinking he's getting top of the line shit, and he does not have the skills socially needed to convey what he needs to have done and then make himself available for that. He's supposedly married to Catherine, right? They are a happily married couple. They are a team. If you need someone to be at that house while you run the errands, then let her do that, or let her run the errands, whatever the case may be. But one of you need to be there, and one of you should have been there this morning to get this taken care of. Instead, you fucked around, and if shit does go south tomorrow, on Friday, or well, today, if you're watching this, whatever, you know what I mean? If shit goes awry, that's literally his fault. That is literally his fault, and all this shit could have been avoided. Wow. Absolutely amazing.
I can't do my regular work. I can't make the money I usually make. It will put me into a bad position again, and I'm deathly afraid that this thing, the way it's going and how weird it is, that it's going to be something that Comcast has never faced before. They don't know what the hell's going on, and it's going to be some oddball thing, and it's going to be a nightmare, you know? As is, I'm paying for the internet, and I don't have it, you know? I have a modem downstairs, it doesn't work at all. I can't get anything out of it, you know? It's worthless, and I'm paying for it. I'm really hoping that they're going to be able to figure this out tomorrow, you know, but I don't know. I'm skeptical. When we sat here for 2.5 hours last night,
and then
tried everything.
I'm sorry, two other things. I mean, we're not done yet, but just two things. If we have 2 high-end business class internet lines, I'm sorry, why is it that Catherine can't stream or do YouTube content? Another thing, why is his YouTube? Why is he using the internet downstairs to monitor his streams when he's already streaming at a higher bit rate than he needs to, and he's literally just wasting internet speed? He literally could just connect his laptop to the Wi-Fi upstairs or patch in. Why is he using the downstairs internet to monitor his streams? It's almost like he's purposely trying to block Catherine from doing anything online. And now that I think about it, when she's playing, I don't even know if she even plays games online, but let's say she has to update her consoles. So how is that working? Is she on Wi-Fi or is she patched in? I've got so many questions now. Because that makes no sense. Everything in that office should be running off just one internet line. You shouldn't be clogging up both. It really makes you think.
And the best we could do is connect via a different DNS server, like the Google server, and we could get Google to load and YouTube to half load, but it was slow and it wasn't really working. What makes you think that the Comcast tech, who probably never faces this kind of an issue, is just going to know how to fix this, right? Like, I don't have faith in it. I don't. I get the feeling this is going to be an issue. They're going to come. We're going to be here for 2 hours. Nothing's going to get resolved. They're going to have to escalate, internally search, escalate, and it's going to be, you know, I hope it's not weeks, because number one, I'm on my
weeks. He thinks he's going to be out of internet for weeks. And it's funny, because he was so inept and he was so stupid the night before, he's automatically putting all of that on the technician that's coming out to help him tomorrow. Oh, well, if I couldn't figure it out and if you guys couldn't help me figure it out, how is this person going to do it? You mean someone who's trained and certified? With their equipment? You don't think they would have some insight that clearly you don't? Also, why is it that he's so goddamn greasy looking? Like, it's 12 o'clock. Well, at this point, it'd be 12 o'clock in the afternoon for him. Why the fuck do you look so fucking greasy and nasty and shit this early? Did you shower? Did you do anything? Ew. It's a good thing it ain't warm out there, Seattle boy, because I can only assume that's gonna stink the car up later. Holy shit.
If this PC restarts or turns off, or if this internet resets, I might just lose connection and that's it. Now I can't stream at all, right? I'm lucky that I still have that connection working for some odd reason. I don't even know how, but it is still working. But like I said, it's weird because it's like half capacity. It won't load certain sites, like YouTube. It won't load YouTube in my Firefox browser. Why? Obviously something is up. Something's going on. You know, we're in a situation where at a moment's notice, things can fall apart. And this is my business, and it's not right. It's not right to be in this position. Who knows what's going on? No one seems to know. That's the thing, you know? Like, we tried to figure it out. Did Comcast screw this up? I don't know. So, it's uncertain. Please, if you can support content right now that I'm doing, there's so many ways you can support my content. Watching it, engaging with it, doing a super thanks on an on-demand video. If you look at the description of any of my videos in the last several months, there's always a link for a tip. You could send me a tip if you want to help that way. Attend tomorrow, and let's hope for the best to see what happens on the live stream. You know, and we'll go from there. But, yeah, I'm already set back, and now there's potential that this week, this is a big release week with Alan Wake 2, and continuing with Spider-Man, and continuing with Mario, that now I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do, you know? What I'm going to do, like I said, right now, I'm going to plug in this laptop over here to this...
It doesn't even matter, because, like I said, Mario and Spider-Man's already dead in the water, and Alan Wake probably only has 1 stream or 2 in it, and then that's going to be dead too, so it doesn't really matter. And you know it's setting in. You know that he's real deep down. He's thinking to himself, "Shit's really fucked up, and I can't figure it, and shit's just not panning out." There are unrecorded segments that like SnortBucks, Memology has. I'm sure a few other people do as well. where he's literally bitching, complaining about he doesn't understand why people aren't giving him contributions, why people are disengaged. No one's even talking to him really in the chat. He's having a bitch fit over that. Shit's falling apart around his ass, and there is nobody out here to play Captain Save-A-Ho. He's gonna have to eat this. I don't know if I can't. I don't know for sure, I should say, or I can't say that the next 2 months is gonna be this bad, but it's probably not gonna be much better. You know what I mean? So he's got himself in quite the deficit, and he himself is basically telling you, I can't get out. If somebody doesn't step up, he's gonna be fucked. Fascinating. And yet he's done everything in his power to keep himself there, to keep himself in distress, if you will, to keep himself at a disadvantage. This could have all been resolved this morning. Oh, I can't do that. I gotta go out and run errands, dude. I gotta go out and spend my money for the week. What's more important to you, dude? Giving up half a day, which is essentially what he's already done anyway, and have the technician come in and then just go off and run your fucking errands after the fact? Or you having to wait another day, and if shit don't happen, you're still fucked. You're still gonna be fucked.
Device and see if I can get it kind of working, so at least I can have like a normal stream tomorrow. But that's not a solution. We figure out what is the root cause of the problem, because the whole thing could come down, right? All right, guys. So before I ramble on too long, thank you for watching. I'm out of here now. Like I said, I'm going to upload this and I'm out the door to spend a day with my wife and do a bunch of appointments and other things. And let's hope for the best. Fingers crossed. And let's see if tomorrow we can get this resolved. But hopefully, I'll still be able to get Alan Wake tomorrow. You know, we'll see. I have it installed. I'm ready to play. But we got to see if we can get it working. All right. So thank you all. I appreciate everything. Have a good day, rest of today. And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Peace out.
It doesn't hit like the old begging videos. It don't. It really don't. Shit. Holy shit. Alright, big ups to Agent Proper and Diggs for the heads up on this. That shit does not hit like the old ones. And yet again, he literally admitted that it was all his fault. He legitimately admitted that it was all his fault. Oh my god. Alright, guys. Give me a second to clean up, basically. We'll reconvene for final thoughts, and I'll see you guys later. Alright, see you guys in a second. Ignorance that I just heard is fucking crazy. So crazy. Wow. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That all falls on him. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That shit falls on him. He let so much shit slip out of his goddamn snout without thinking that it's literally all his fault. Literally, ladies and gentlemen, this situation could be resolved right now. Like I said, I'm recording this on Thursday. He literally could have resolved this situation already. I'm ready. He could have literally have done that. He's not. It's probably at this point, like, well, at the point that he finished this video, like certainly before 12:30. You're telling me he couldn't have called Comcast the night before, asked them to send a technician out the first chance they get, the first available technician, which I would say at worst shows up between 8 and 9 o'clock, and get this shit squared away. And then he still could have put out his bitch fit fucking video complaining about how, oh, I don't know what's going to go on and this, that, and the third. He could still lie his fucking ass off if he want to. And then show up on Friday, oh, guys, I'm still not really quite sure. You know, we got to kind of let the internet run for a little while and see what's what. And then when it's time to finally get in the gameplay, oh, everything works, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. You know, contributions. There's some contributions here if you guys want to, you know, really help out, because you know, didn't get a lot of contributions Wednesday, on Wednesday's first stream, or any Wednesday night. Well, yeah, he did. He got like $50 or some bullshit after his 3-hour fucking fest with that nonsense. if you guys want to, you know, send some contributions my way for the new playthrough of Alan Wake, you can do it. I mean, it's not like he ain't lied before on some bullshit and then everything magically worked itself out. So what makes us any different? Like, even the fucking the black shirt, white shirt begging videos are lazy at this point. But clearly there's an underlying problem. There's many problems, obviously, but there's an underlying problem financially that needs to be addressed if he felt the need to do this shit. Because let's be honest, he's not clicking like that where anybody gives a shit. If he shows up, he shows up, and if he don't, he don't. So, god damn it. Alright. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I will catch you guys for the next one. I've got some stuff coming through. We're going to be talking about, eventually, we'll be talking about Leffen. Just the dark side Phil, just far more successful. We're going to talk a little bit about staying in the Smash community. We're going to talk a little bit about the new guidelines that Nintendo put out, where basically it's going to hurt the Smash community for sure. It's going to kneecap them. It's not going to kill them, but it's going to definitely kneecap them. And a lot of that's their fault after what happened with Panda Gaming. So I got a lot to talk about that. Let's see. Talk some about the JF stuff. Give you guys an update on the LOL Calc podcast. It's not even called that anymore. It's called something else. It doesn't matter. It's fucking lame. It's not going to go nowhere, I don't think. A lot to talk about. As well as getting caught up on Cobra, getting caught up on Wings, and more DSP nonsense. So it is what it is. But thank you guys for listening in. I very much appreciate it. I'll catch you guys on the flip. Holy shit. Take care of yourselves, people. Later.